The death of Robin Williams was absolutely unexpected and shocking, so let's talk about it. Robin Williams was one of the greatest comedic actors of all time. I myself can say that a number of my favorite childhood movies starred Robin. And at the time of his death, Robin Williams was an A-list actor at the top of his game. I mean, everybody knew who he was.
I'm back to Fittie, and today we're taking a look at these creepy videos. Remember to subscribe, let's get to 1,000 likes this video. If you guys like the chain, check the link down in the description.
Most unusual deaths in 2022. Just a few weeks ago, a 32-year-old man named Khalil Kimi was swimming at a pool party in Israel when all of a sudden a sinkhole opened up under the water, causing him to be dragged inside and sucked to his death. On January 5th, a personal trainer named Tom Mansfield died after ingesting an amount of pre-workout equivalent to 200 cups of coffee. The father of two reported that his heart started beating extremely fast and he was foaming at the mouth before he died just minutes later. The following day, on January 6th, a 16-year-old boy named Teddy Balkin was playing a JV hockey game when he fell to the ground and collided with another player. His neck was then slit by the boy's hockey skate and he died later in emergency surgery.
Dying at a hockey game gotta be top 100 worst ways to die.
I had to get myself up and out of bed for this because I'd never heard of this case before. Welcome to Creep Time on TikTok with Silas Dean. These are the 13 unaccounted minutes before Patrice Andres went missing. On April 15th of 2004, Patrice, who's a local salon owner in Georgia, walks into her shop and finishes her last client at exactly 11:37 a.m. Another client then calls the shop at 11:50, to which there's no answer, which is very unlike Patrice. In that 13-minute window, something happens in that salon where Patrice goes missing. The next client comes in to find the shop empty, and police are called to the scene, which is eerily undisturbed. Aside from some missing money in the register, there's nothing that's out of place, there's no sign of a struggle, even her lunch is still sitting there warmed up. But two separate witnesses would come forward to report passing the salon within that time frame. Both witnesses come forward to report seeing a light blue sedan parked out front and two unidentified women standing next to it. One of the women was described as tall with dark hair and the other short with light hair. These eyewitness accounts mark one of the only insights as to what happened in those 13 minutes. After 20 months of searching, her remains are finally found at the bottom of a ravine, but the manner of death is unknown. Initially, her husband is suspected to be involved as maybe a jealous spouse, but a scrutinizing investigation would rule him out. She leaves behind her 15-year-old son at the time, who till this day continues to search for answers as to what really happened to his mom on April 15th. So what are your theories as to those 13 unknown minutes?
Creepy facts that you shouldn't read. Your mind gets sense when someone is staring at you even when you're asleep, which explains why you randomly wake up during the night. Spirits are more active at night and mostly exist in air-conditioned rooms. They look and stare at you at night. They read your mind and try to speak and show your future dreams. Follow if you're scared.
I don't really know if they could read my mind when I'm sleeping. You know, maybe they can read my dreams, but that's not really what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really there. And my room is always air conditioned, so I'm toasted.
Videos that seem innocent, but actually have a terrifying backstory. This video shows a man playing Dance Dance Revolution while some teens unknowingly record him and make fun of him. 6 months after this video was taken, this man, Adam Lanzo, would shoot his own mother 4 times in the head while she's sleeping, then drive to Sandy Hook Elementary School where he'd murdered 23 people. This video shows magician Tommy Cooper having a heart attack while on live TV. The audience, as well as his assistant, thought it was part of the show, so they laughed along while he died on stage. This video shows a popular CSGO streamer showing off his new McLaren. However, he was banned a week later for hacking, and this caused him to have a mental breakdown. So he purposely crashed his car into a van, killing himself, a mother, and her child. This video shows a band performing minutes before the venue burnt down and killed everyone inside. Even creepier, the band's name was Burn.
That's a little ironic.
A 20-year-old cold case has had a major breakthrough after an eerie twist led to police identifying a teenage girl's remains. Midtown Jane Doe was found mysteriously entombed in cement in a former New York hotspot during construction in 2003. Investigators believe she was fatally strangled, bound with electrical wire, and wrapped in a carpet before being cemented into the building's basement. Now, Midtown Jane Doe has been identified as Patricia Kathleen McGlone, a girl from Brooklyn who was last seen in the late 1960s. DNA from a woman killed in the 9/11 attacks, also named Patricia, helped authorities identify the girl, as the two were related.
This is the devastating case of Kylie Rodney. On August 6, 2022, 16-year-old Kylie went missing at Prosser Family Campground in Truckee, California. Kylie attended a school party with more than 100 kids, but it's alleged that older people also showed up, which made a lot of the teens uncomfortable. Kylie texted her mom right before midnight and told her that she would be home in 45 minutes, but the following morning, Kylie's mother got super worried when Kylie was still not home. One of Kylie's friends said that she was with her the entire evening until she decided to go home at 12:20 a.m. Police searched Prosser Lake for more than 15 hours but were unable to find Kylie's vehicle. But on August 21st, a group of divers who go by the name Adventures with Purpose decided that they would help look for Kylie. It didn't take the group of divers much time to locate Kylie's car, only 14 feet underwater. The car was upside down and Kylie's body was inside. The investigation is still ongoing and the autopsy results have not been released yet. So what do you guys think happened to Kylie? Was this a tragic accident or was there foul play involved?
Dark Things That Happened at Disney, Part 23. I actually got a lot of messages asking me to cover this case. On December 3rd, Chris Christensen passed away after jumping from a parking structure outside of Disneyland. This is reportedly the area that he jumped from and that's where he landed. Now, it's a very sad and tragic case. It breaks my heart. So according to the letter that Chris left, him and his wife Marlena got in a really bad fight. He said their marriage was perfect up until that fight. She accused him of being aggressive and physical with her and their kids. Although Chris claims that that's not what happened and those claims were false. As a result, he spent the night in jail and he pretty much lost his job of being a school principal. Chris said that he took his own life to escape his partner and these claims that she made up. It's a very touchy case, that's why I didn't really want to address it, but like I said, a lot of people told me to.
No, that really is a sad case, but why specifically did he do it at Disney though? I feel like he could have did it anywhere else. But at a kid's amusement park is a little bit crazy.
I haven't covered many cases that deal with the paranormal on this account, but this is a story that stuck out to me. Welcome to Creep Time on TikTok with Silas Dean. This story is from a woman named Whitney Renebe. The story takes place in a rural part of Oklahoma, sometime between 2019 or maybe early 2020. One night while her mother's just sitting in the living room, just browsing through old photos on her phone, she comes across 3 pictures that startle her. On her camera roll were these 3 photos taken within minutes of each other around 3 in the morning just a few days prior. One is of her husband sleeping, one is of her daughter sleeping, and then one is of herself. She realized that no one else in the house had taken any of these photos, nor did her family have a history of sleepwalking. This is a family that has 5 dogs in the house, all of which tend to bark with strangers, but there was no sound that night. Till this day, she has no idea who took these pictures or how they were able to do so without disturbing the house or the dogs. The photos are a haunting mystery, leaving the family with one question. Who took these pictures?
Let's talk about skinwalkers. They are said to be powerful witches and medicine men. They can even change their form to any animal they desire, including humans, but they mainly change into deer, wolves, and coyote. You know, dragon fruit ain't that good. The scary part is they say if you see one, they can steal your face and even your last scream for help. You might think this is like a folklore or a tale. People actually believe these are real. The scary part is there's actual videos of people seeing oddly walking humans screaming help in the middle of nowhere. See, they say skinwalkers pretend to be humans in distress, and if they're calling out for help, they're just trying to lure you in. Ashley. That's when they take your life and use your voice and your look to catch their next gullible victim. A man's wife wasn't even home, but yet somebody was calling him to come downstairs in his wife's voice. If you want me to go out in the middle of the field, at least shapeshift into like Rihanna or Beyonce. I'm making a mess, but this look good. I'll be there in a minute. 30 seconds flat. Naked. Very naked. Maybe even Lizzo. Let's light this candle.
I personally do not know what he was talking about there towards the end about she has to be like, what is he talking about? My thing is like, what if it's just actually a person wanting help?
This is the Pitbull video, one of the hardest cartel execution videos to watch, explained. The video that I'm about to explain is extremely graphic and I don't recommend searching for it. The video begins with a man lying on his back on the ground and 2 men are holding his legs open. He's being restrained. And in total, there is 5 perpetrators and 1 victim. And also 2 pit bull dogs. Apparently, this is the victim's punishment for allegedly doing something with a kid or to a kid. The victim is naked, and at the start of the video, the dog has done most of the work. The dog already ripped off the man's privates, and it's just a bloody mess. The dog continues to rip pieces of flesh off of where his privates used to be, and the victim is being held down, and he is also gagged so he can't scream. But sometimes the gag came loose, and at this point you could hear the man scream in pain. The victim was even talking, but I couldn't translate it, but that means he was completely conscious during this, which I can't even imagine the pain. As a man, this might be one of the worst videos out there. Funky Town is bad, Ghost Rider is bad, but as a man, I can't imagine anything more painful than a pit bull ripping off your junk while you're still alive. Not many people mention this video with the other disturbing ones, but it's definitely up there. There's not any information about the victim after the video. I don't know if he died, but it's safe to assume he did. He lost a lot of blood, and if a dog eats your privates, you will most likely get an infection and die from it. All in all, this video is very graphic, very real, and very disturbing. Please do yourself a favor and never go searching for this video, especially if you're a man.
Someone recently asked me what the strangest thing I've seen in a police file is, and I think I have an answer. It's this trash can. Let me explain. So this trash can was found in Joan Rish's house in 1961, immediately after she went missing. Her young daughter had gone to a neighbor's house and told the neighbor that mommy is missing and there's red paint all over the kitchen. And when the police got there, they saw that the red all over the kitchen was blood. But there were also a few really weird details like this trash can, so the police had no idea what had happened to Joan. So first and foremost is the fact that this trash can is just in the middle of the kitchen. Normally it was under the sink, but here it is just in the middle of the kitchen for no reason. And then the contents of the trash made no sense. So here is the phone receiver, which has been ripped from the wall. You can see in this photo here that the phone is still on the wall, but just the mouthpiece was ripped off and then moved across the kitchen and neatly placed on the trash. And on the phone was a fingerprint they could never identify. People hypothesized that maybe someone was there, and when Joan went to call for help, they ripped the mouthpiece off. Then there was this beer. So Joan's husband was out of town when this happened, but when he came back, he said that no one in the house drank Miller High Lifes. He didn't drink it, Joan didn't drink it, the trash had been taken out since the last time people were over, but yet there's Miller High Life next to the trash. Joan disappeared that day and was never seen again, and these 2 little pieces right here are some of the only evidence that someone else may have been in the house. They don't know if she ran away on her own, if she was taken, or what. But the whole story is really wild, and I tell it all tonight on the episode. Also, merch goes live when the episode drops.
This guy is the real Humpty Dumpty, and his story is much darker than you think. Deep in the eerie town of Puddlebrook, Kentucky, resided Gilbert Eggman, a man plagued by misfortune. His tale took a sinister turn when he joined the construction crew. Perched atop a towering brick wall on his very first day, 3 co-workers, fueled by malevolence, sent the ladder crashing down. Gilbert's pleas for help fell on deaf ears. Desperate to rescue him, the trio resorted to a crane. But destiny had other plans. The crane, guided by an unseen force, struck Gilbert, sending him hurtling to a grim demise. The town whispered of Gilbert's curse. In the following months, darkness consumed Puddlebrook. One by one, the 3 construction workers met their untimely ends, each death shrouded in mystery. Gilbert's curse, it seemed, had unleashed its wrath upon them, becoming an urban legend in the small town.
You won't believe what this person found on the dark web. The dark web refers to 80% of the internet that is not accessible through normal internet browsers. Here's why you should never go searching on there. This one person was searching around when they stumbled upon a live bid. Now, he didn't actually realize what they were bidding for, but he was watching it. When the bidding ended, it was revealed that it was for a woman tied to a chair. The winning bidder decided what happened to this girl. It ended up being a torture and murder live stream. To this day, it was never revealed who was behind this or who this poor girl was. That's really sad and messed up. But follow for more sad and messed up content, I guess. Also follow me on YouTube, link in bio.
This man has been sentenced to 100 years in prison after doing the unthinkable to his daughter. Tony Valles is a 66-year-old from Helena. On the 10th of July 2022, he was at home with his partner Heather. Tony's 8-year-old daughter Ariana and his 18-year-old son were also at the house at the time. Suddenly, 2 women entered the property who he believed were evicting him. He flew into a violent rage and grabbed a weapon from his bedroom. At this point, he began shooting. He shot Heather and she fell to the floor, and then he shot at his son. His 8-year-old daughter tried to escape and run from the terror, but she was hit with gunfire. She was on the stairs when she was hit by a bullet and she fell back. She tragically died after being rushed to hospital. After his daughter's death, Tony stated, "I'm sorry for all this. I can't undo what I've done. The pain and the misery will last a lifetime, and I'm sorry for all that." Tony was sentenced to serve 100 years in prison.
It's crazy because based on him saying that, I knew he regretted it. So that's going to be like 100 years of him just thinking about what he did.
6 days ago, I posted a video listing 8 horrifying facts about jinns. Number 2 from that list caught many viewers' attention. Let's have a look at that clip. Number 2, mythical creatures that we see in movies, such as dragons, mermaids, goblins, and trolls, are inspired by supernatural beings. The jinns of the sky, the jinns of the sea, the jinns of the mountains, and the jinns of the caves. For hundreds of years, mythical creatures were always inspired by supernatural beings. Let's use mermaids as an example. In urban legends, mermaids are known to be sea creatures that lure sailors to their death by their enchanting voice. They are not as innocent and friendly as how movies make them seem. This is the only real video available online that could maybe prove a being of what seems to be a mermaid.
We got another one over here? What are those? What the fuck's going on? On each side of the boat? What are those trails called? What's something swimming fast underneath that water? Something swimming real fast underneath that water. I hear him. Where's he at? What the fuck is that noise, bro? What is that noise? Where are you?
Let's not forget the importance of oceans and the world of jinns. The most protected area in their whole world is on water. The throne of Iblis is on water. But the main question is, are these shape-shifting jinns, half humanoids, half fish, or do mermaids actually exist? Only God knows the answer.
Who knows what it really could have been, because you also got to remember that sharks and even dolphins sometimes follow ships like that because they're known to throw food overboard. So that's kind of just easy eatings, but it didn't really look like a shark, but at the end of the day, it could have been anything.
The death of Robin Williams was absolutely unexpected and shocking, so let's talk about it. Robin Williams was one of the greatest comedic actors of all time. I myself can say that a number of my favorite childhood movies starred Robin. And at the time of his death, Robin Williams was an A-list actor at the top of his game. I mean, everybody knew who he was. But even though he was considered a national treasure, Robin's life wasn't always perfect. In the late 1970s and 80s, Robin Williams battled a number of addictions. And throughout his entire life, he faced a number of mental health problems. Mental health issues that would eventually consume him. These were the last photos ever taken of Robin Williams before his death in August of 2014. In the photos, you can see him in the background hanging out amongst a crowd at some sort of a function. And the photographer at the time had no idea that these were the last pictures that would ever be taken of Robin Williams. On August 11th, 2014, Robin Williams was found dead at his home in California. The night before Robin Williams died, he placed a number of wristwatches in a sock and dropped them off to someone. Apparently, he told this person that he wanted them to keep them safe for him. Later that evening at around 7 p.m., he called his wife Susan and stated that he was picking up some magazines for her at a bookstore. Once he returned home, he gave the magazines to his wife Susan, and he seemed okay according to her. He rummaged around the bedroom, took his iPad out, and Susan was actually happy. He then left the bedroom at around 10:30 p.m., and that was the last time she would ever see him alive. Around 12 hours later, Susan believed that Robin was still sleeping and she left the house. At around noon that day, Robin Williams' assistant became nervous because he wasn't responding. His assistant slipped a note under the door for Robin, and then he picked the lock. And when he opened the door, what he saw was extremely disturbing. Robin Williams had hanged himself with a nylon belt from a closet door frame. There were also cuts on his wrists, but it ultimately ended up being the asphyxiation that took Robin's life. Yes, it was eventually revealed that Robin Williams took his own life, and people really couldn't believe it. Robin was an actor known worldwide for his happiness, for his laugh, for his joy that he spread. They had no idea that it was possible that he was struggling so severely inside. It was also eventually revealed that Robin suffered from Parkinson's disease and dementia at the time of his death. And no one knows to this day what really sent Robin over the edge that evening. The one thing that we do know is that the world still misses Robin Williams.
That's so scary because sometimes you'd be like, that person was chill today. Like, they didn't really seem too crazy. The next you know, they're trying to... That's scary, man. Scary, man. Prayers go out to Robin Williams' family.
This is a lie. Pam bills itself as a fat-free cooking spray, but that's impossible. It's made from oil, and oil is fat. Now, I know this is going to come as a shock, but believe it or not, this multi-billion-dollar company is actually not being entirely honest in their advertising. According to FDA regulations, you can call your product fat-free if it contains less than half a gram of fat per serving, and that applies no matter what the serving size is. So if you want to qualify for a fat-free label, all you gotta do is make the serving size really, really small. The official serving size for Pam is 1/4 gram, and obviously you can't fit half a gram of fat into 1/4 gram of total product, so it qualifies for a fat-free label. And if you see here, in order to dispense 1/4 gram serving, you would need to spray it for no more than 1/4 second, which is just dumb. I'm sorry, I would like to be more eloquent, but I can't, it's just dumb. The FDA is dumb, especially their labeling laws. 0 calorie does not mean 0 calorie, it means less than 5 calories per serving. Sugar-free does not mean sugar-free, it means less than half a gram of sugar per serving. Cholesterol-free means less than 2 milligrams of cholesterol per serving, and sodium-free means less than 5 milligrams of sodium per serving. And in any of these cases, the serving size can be scaled down as needed to meet the requirement. Serving sizes should be the first thing you look at on nutrition labels because they are the source of so much manipulation. And we've become really vulnerable to buzzwords like fat-free, but a lot of times, those should actually be taken as red flags.
Because some of that's even unrealistic. Like he said, what, 1/4 second? That's so unrealistic. Like, no one's really doing that. And then people that want to be healthy or that have health issues get in even more trouble because they're thinking, well, it's fat free, so I'm gonna just spray the whole pan with this. Whole time it's probably like 5+ grams of fat. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a lot of fat because it is oily. But sad is nowadays.
Thank you all for watching this here.